I feel like all my videos are off kilter. If you are new to this channel, hi, I'm Taylor, and I really love Kuroko no Basuke. Oh. And if you are not new, then you already knew this fact, like a long time ago. But instead of barking my feelings today, I'm gonna be making them cohesive and putting them to actual use because I am finally reviewing the Kuroko no Basuke anime. I'm only gonna be doing the anime right now because I have a lot of the manga to finish. I'm like halfway dedicated to a game, and that's a mess. So I'm only gonna be sticking to the anime for right now. But I am gonna be pointing out a bunch of differences, the ones that I picked up and the ones that others that I know the anime very well and the manga as well, and I'm gonna be putting this together. This is your warning, I'm going to be going into spoilers. I'm going to try not to go too far into details. I'm going to keep it pretty big and vague. So if you don't want any kind of spoilers, especially the end of how the series ends, I would recommend not watching this video and instead watching the show because I'm going to go and say, I'm just going to tell you it's great. Now, for the moment we've all been waiting for. Let's review Kuroko no Basuke. Kuroko no Basuke follows Kuroko Tetsuya, a first year at Seiran High School, as he joins the basketball team and meets his new light, Kagami Taiga. Together, along with the rest of Seiran, they work together to take on the miracles one by one and work together to become the #1 team in Japan. It's always a bit of a different sports anime. Instead of the protagonist being some gung-ho kid or some prodigy that's just like way too cool for everyone, he's pretty normal, save for his lack of presence, which he uses to his advantage on the court. Instead, that honor goes to his old teenage generation miracles, and of course, we can't forget Kagami, who is very, very into that idea of just being the best. Side note, the Generation Miracles, or Kiseki no Sedai, is the name given to the 5 starting members of the Teiko Middle School basketball team. See, Kuroko and Kagami sort of switch places, and that Kuroko's goal really isn't to become #1 in Japan. At least not exactly. But Kagami's is, and he will let you know at any given chance that he wants to take those damn miracles down. Kuroko no Basuke does fall victim to a couple of tropes, but I think what it does really well is that it takes them and it always seems to flip them on its head. Take, for example, the females in the show, Riko and Momoi, who are really, really cute in appearance, but they are anything but useless in this show. Unlike some other females in certain other sports animes. Riko is Seiran's coach, and she'll put you in a headlock faster than you can try and make a slam dunk. On top of only being 17 and coaching a boys basketball team, she's also in the student council and is the second smartest kid in their entire school. Needless to say, Riko's kind of a badass. Momoi is Teiko's former manager and To's current manager, and she's very analytical and very smart, and she can kind of tell the future in a little bit of a way, and she's just really OP, and I would never want to go against her because she's super scary, and I absolutely adore her. Also, I'll be really honest, if anybody can manage to lug around big boobies like that literally all the time, they're a winner in my book. Kyoshi, who is introduced later on, and is also my bae, is sort of introduced as the silly senpai character, but the more you get to know him, he is a little bit conniving and very sneaky, and is even described by his best friend and Seiran's captain Yuga as he looks like he's always planning something. It gives the characters a bit of depth, and it's one of the things that the anime really fails on from its manga counterpart because it just sort of takes them away. Take 2 characters like Kiyoshi and Kisei, who in the manga are kind of sneaky and a little bit of a low-key asshole, but the anime sort of makes them these sunshine and happy characters all the time, and that's not exactly them. While inspired personality traits are a part of them, it's not their entire character. It sort of reminds me in a movie or a TV show where a character is cloned or copied, and that copy of them just really has the basic parts of them and not all of them. Hyuga and all these other characters can go on about how sneaky and conniving and evil Kiyoshi is, but we're being told and it's not really being shown to us. However, overall, the characters in this show are very well done. Everyone is vibrant and interesting and has great backstories and relationships and romantic interests and all these other things, and you get to see Seiran slowly become just these people that wanted to play basketball, and you see them become a family of some kind, and I think that's one of the best parts about Kuroko. Even its villains are great. Hanamiya is disgusting and vile, but he's so interesting. He's a really incredible antagonist because, frankly, he doesn't give a shit and does whatever he wants. And I think that makes for a really interesting and fresh character when you look at everybody else in the show. The overall story is incredible. While sometimes it seems a little rushed, or maybe like some parts were chopped up, it never is enough to fully take you out. Almost every character gets so much growth, and you get to learn so much about them that you really grow attached to all of these characters. When you see Saren finally win the Winter Cup, you feel so proud of them, like you just watched your kids go and win off the championship. Seeing Saren go from these underdogs that had to work so hard for so little of what they were getting, and to see them work their way up and to be what they've become now, and all the meanwhile, Kuroko bringing his former teammates together and finally getting to show his way of basketball. It's so heartwarming, and it really gets you. I can't say that a lot of anime have made me cry nearly as much as Kuroko no Basuke, and I think that really speaks to how natural it is. It is really bringing you in and making you feel all of these things, and it doesn't feel forced. And I think of all the things that really Kuroko no Basuke's high point. The art in Kuroko no Basuke starts off not very great, but it does eventually get better. Kuroko no Basuke is a very distinct art style that when you first watch is a bit off-putting, but once you get used to it, it looks fine. And I think Production IG did a really good job translating the manga art from that into an anime. There is a very clear budget increase later on in the series, and I think that really only adds to a lot of the cool special effects that they put later on in the series. And I can't say enough good things about Production IG and how they did it, especially with their details to eyes. I thought that was one of the highest points in the art for them. So much is shown in the facial expressions in Kuroko no Basuke, which is very interesting, and it's one of my favorite parts of watching it, just to see the close-ups of how serious something is getting. Because you know when you get a facial close-up on the eyes, shit's getting real. The biggest gripe I have with Production IG is, why do they hate Almine so much? Like, what did he do to you exactly? Why did you make him so unbearably awful to look at until season 3? Were those his, like, angst lines? I don't fully understand this. It's been I don't know how, it's been a year since I watched the show, and every time I still just don't understand it. Overall, the art in it's really incredible, especially in season 3, and almost all of the OPs and EDs are fantastic, and you should just watch those just because they look so good. The season 3 OPs, so good. The voice cast is amazing. From my boy Ono Kensho to Ono Yuki to Hosoyama Yoshimasa to Junichi Suwabe. I think that's how you say his name. Everybody's super good. Every time I rewatch, I'm simply blown away by how talented the voice cast is. Granted, we have people like Onodai and Kamiyan in the show, but from them to people that are just a bit new, it's incredible. Kuroko is actually Onokin's first really big role, and he really blossomed in it, and I think the fact that he is even Kuroko in the stage play really speaks to his talent and to this character, and I love this guy. I can't say enough good things about these people. They're so talented and so great, and I just love them. I think they're amazing and adorable. Mwah. Love them all. An important thing to note about Kuroko is that while it is a sports anime, it's not conventional by any means. Kuroko is actually more of a battle shonen than it really is a sports anime. It's just kind of set in basketball. It's nothing realistic like slam dunk. I mean, come on, guys. Saren goes Tron in like the final episodes. Like, and Kagami flies at least like once a season through the air. If you're watching the show for realism, I don't know what exactly to tell you. That's always killed me about this show is that people don't understand it's not realistic, and it was never intended to be realistic. So when people are like, Slam Dunk is obviously way better than Kuroko no Basuke, duh, you can't really compare them because they don't really have the same storytelling method or the same end goal or any of that kind of stuff. But they're really fantastic shows, and they both really excel at what they want to do, and I think you should love what you want and not knock the other competitor. It's not a competition, guys. It's not even the same kind of show. Side note, while Kuroko and Slam Dunk are definitely two different kinds of shows, there was actually a lot of influence from Slam Dunk that was put into Kuroko, including how Kagami is very similar to the main protagonist of Slam Dunk, Sakuragi. My camera died, so I'm going to finish this separately really quick. Now, is Kuroko no Basuke a perfect anime? Absolutely not. There's a lot of moments where everything kind of seems a little bit choppy and like a lot of the details aren't there, most notably in the Teiko arc, where instead of spending more time than they should have, it was only a couple episodes, and it takes out a lot of the important details that really make that part as essential as it is. A lot of the comedy was also really lost in the manga to anime transition. Oh, I finally got our bird for the video end. It's a shame because a lot of the funny moments really make the story what it is, and I find that that's very common when you take a manga and you make it into an anime. The first thing that comes to mind is that Fullmetal Alchemist really lost a lot of its comedy when it was translated into Brotherhood. But that's a bit of a minor nitpick, but it's a bit disappointing when you read the series and then you watch it and then all your favorite moments not there, you know? Even with the gripes I have about the art style or some minor plot stuff or some characterization, I adore this show so much. I absolutely fell in love with the show when I watched it, and I think it is a very special show, and you can very easily relate to any of the characters, from Hyuga to Amine to even a complete douchebag like Hanamiya. There are traits in everybody that make them so lifelike and so human, and I think it's very special in that regard. If you're looking for a sports anime that isn't realistic in any kind of way, but is fun and is vibrant, and you feel like you're really having a good time, and then sometimes you feel like you maybe want to die a little because you're so sad, then Kuroko no Basuke is 100% the show for you. Even if those don't sound like things, you should give it a try anyway, because I've actually yet to meet a person that was like, yeah, that Kuroko no Basuke show wasn't actually that great. The message of friendship and teamwork and coming together is really universal. I'm gonna give Kuroko no Basuke 9 balls. 9 balls? There we go. 9 balls out of 10. Because I love it, but it's not perfect, you know? We can't. It's not Sony at E3. It wasn't Sony at E3, but it's very near and dear to my heart. But look, that's my critical rating. My actual rating is like 1,000 out of 10. I'll see you guys next video. I don't know what it's gonna be yet, but you'll see me then. And if you want to check out when I barked my feelings that one time about the show when I first started it, kind of, and finished it, whatever, and then when I watched it with my mom, and she got to tell me all of her thoughts, and that's a good series. I'm not really in the frame. Let's do. Yeah, this is gonna work. All my socials are at the end of the video, of course, like always, in the video below. And before I forget, you can watch all 3 seasons of Kuroko no Basuke on Crunchyroll.com. So you should definitely go. There's some OVAs on there that they kind of slide in, and those are great also, and you should marathon it all and get back to me and tell me who your favorite character is in the comments below. And I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.